to the Hanford Dixon Show. I'm Gabriella Cruz alongside the top dog.
Getting time for that bark. It's getting closer. It's getting time for that bark. It's getting time.
It's getting closer. We had the rookie minicamp. What was it, 47 guys that Andrew Berry had at this rookie minicamp, and people fighting for just to get the competition going.
And didn't I tell you? I told you that, which you already knew anyway, but I told you that, he was going to bring in all the draft choices. And
Yes.
I told you we was going to go out and sign probably about 20-some players, and we did. We went out and we signed somewhere around 20, 25 players, and we brought them in because, like I said, during these camps, we just need bodies. We just have to have bodies. And a lot of these guys, obviously, they won't make the football team unless they really, really do something special and surprise the coaches. Because sometimes, now you never know, some of these guys that they bring in, maybe one, maybe two of them shock the coaches, and they end up making the team, doing something really, really extraordinary. So, but again, a lot of bodies for the mini camp, and I just think it's good because a lot of the rookies, they get a chance to get in, and like I said, learn the lay of the land and meet the coaches and everybody and talk to each other and just see what they can do. So it's a good thing.
It's a good thing to, like you said, break the ice with everybody too, and the people that you're going to be potentially playing with and just being in that atmosphere and environment with. So it's nice to get everybody together early and get it out of the way.
You know what I would just love to, and I know everybody would love to be a fly on the wall in that quarterback room. You got Showdown, and obviously the two rookie quarterbacks that are in here, and just to, I think it's funny how a lot of people would try to turn that room against each other, but you know what? The good thing about those guys, they won't do that. They know how important that room is to a football team, because that's where it all starts, with the quarterback.
Oh yeah, the quarterback. I mean, you have to have that leadership, toolbox with you. So I mean, it was nice, even Showdown. I mean, not that you can take so much this early on, but it was nice that he had a little tweet out with all the guys, and it was great to build these relationships and get to know everybody and be out here.
Well, it really is, and even though Showdown was he fell to the 5th round. I mean, obviously he's got that that's something about him.
And he has that leadership. He's got that it quality, and he's got the leadership about him. You know what I mean?
And it's okay to have that. But I think one thing that he realizes and he understands, and I'm sure his dad has told him, is that, son, it doesn't matter where you're drafted. The most important thing, you was drafted. Now you have to go out and you have to prove it on the field. You have to show your talent. You have to lead by example. And I think that's one of the things that he's going to attempt to do on this football team. But I think competition brings out the best in everyone. Yeah. I mean, I really do. I never, when I played, I never shied away from competition, because competition made me a better player. Right. Because I was very confident guy, and I would tell you what the hell I'm going to do to you. I would tell those wide receivers, hey, I'm going to shut your butt down today, and then I would go out and do it. And I think Showdown is that type of guy. I think both of these quarterbacks are that type of guy, that they believe in themselves and they know that they can go out and they can play in the National Football League. And I can't wait to see. That's why I say it's almost time. It's almost time to get this thing rolling.
Did anything surprise you or please you between Gabriel and Sanders, in particular? Because up close you get to see that Showdown is, he's a little thicker, he's a little bigger, and Gabriel, in my opinion, I mean, he's got a great, tight spiral, and he seems super accurate. And obviously this is not, we don't know about, can you read defenses and da-da-da-da, but anything that came off the rip for you? Well,
I think Gabriel, I mean, when you, a lot of people make a little stint or, talk about this kid height at a quarterback. I think he's not the typical quarterback that you want. Most people want a guy that's 6'4", 6'5", and that type of quarterback. And I think he's 5'11", just a little bit under 6 feet tall. But the kid can play. I mean, the kid can absolutely play. And I think I was talking to someone, and I was telling them earlier that this kid plays a lot bigger than he actually is. I mean, he can go out and he can get the job done, and he's the type of guy that if it's not open, he can pull it down and he can get you that extra yards running, scrambling, running the football.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be interesting to see that he's a southpaw, meaning he's a left-handed quarterback.
Right.
He's throwing from the left side. So I'm going to give him, and I know the coaches are going to give him a shot because, you know,
I mean, they both look like NFL level quarterbacks.
Right. Very rarely, someone that you drafted, you want those. You're going to give those guys every opportunity to make this football team because you don't want to make yourself look bad. So, I like that room. I think that room is completely full. You got Pickett, you got those two rookies, and then you got Flacco, and then guys also. I mean, we haven't said anything, but we have another guy that we're paying a lot of money to, Deshaun. Mm-hmm. And I guarantee you this, Deshaun is trying to get himself together because wouldn't it be something if all of a sudden Deshaun show up from the dead?
I know.
Because we put him in the grave now.
We put him in the grave. He hasn't put himself in the grave.
Right.
According to his Instagram anyway.
Right. So I can't wait to see that quarterback
room.
room.
Happen. Honestly, it's just exciting to get going. I think we want to see more and more and more, and we will.
It really is, and I'll say this: the closer it get to starting real training camp and getting ready for the season. I know we're a little ways off right now. We're a few months off, but I just get excited because I don't know, guys. I just have a feeling this year about this football team. I have a feeling, and that feeling is a good feeling, and that's why I can't wait for this thing to start to see what's going to happen. I think what's going to happen is, you remember we were talking about the AFC North, how good the AFC North was going to be last year, and talking about all four teams, and it wasn't that way. We were the only team that didn't. We won 3 damn games. I think that's going to change this year. I think that whole AFC North, all four teams are going to be good this year. And I can't wait to watch this action. I just can't wait to stick my chest out and talk about the Cleveland Browns and see them do really well.
It is. It'll be really fun. How about the Guardians real quick? Because I know you've been paying attention too. What do you think about our Guards? We're second in the American League Central right now. I think we're 2.5 games behind Detroit. What are your thoughts on our Gardos?
Well, first of all, you just said a name that really made me mad talking about Detroit. I mean, all of a sudden, you seem like they can't lose a goddamn baseball game, and then when they lose, we lose. Right. So I'm kind of mad about that, but I'm pretty happy with the Guardians right now. They're playing extremely well. They're playing good baseball. Even though we have these little slumps, guys. We go in a slump, where we can't score any runs. And
we're playing good teams now, too. We just played the Phillies. I think we got Minnesota and the Brewers.
Yep.
Coming up today or this week, so.
But you hit it. We're playing good teams, but we are a good team.
We are a good team.
That's why we can hold our own against any of those teams. And we got our pitchers like Bybee and all those guys. They're starting to come into form, pitching really, really well. Because I think the last game, I think it went like 6 or 7 innings with but when our pitcher make a mistake and we're talking about, I think the last series was against Philly. And, boy, Philly is a good baseball team. I mean, when you have to face that lineup, I mean, you got Harper and just to go on and on and on. I mean, you're going to make a mistake with those guys.
Was killing us.
Yeah. Oh, did you see? I mean, they're just good guys. They're good. They're a good baseball team.
And you know what made it even worse was Schwarber, we have some PTSD from the World Series. But I'm at the game, and I see some friends sitting behind home plate. A friend of mine who works over at Grumpy's Cafe in Tremont. Great restaurant, by the way. If you haven't been there, check it out. But, I'm like, oh, hey, so, like, she had a whole clan with her. I'm like, oh, you got all your friends to come? She's like, oh, it's the whole restaurant. She's like, yeah, Kyle got us tickets.
What?
She's like, Schwarber comes in for breakfast today, and then we just, like, he ended up giving them all tickets to the game, and I thought that was really sweet. And I was
that's
like, dang
cool.
it. He's a problem for us on the field, but it's nice to see when guys are just, regular, normal, nice people.
Well,
Yeah, he's from not far from here, actually, too. He's from Middletown, Ohio, so he's
Oh, really?
sort of by Cincinnati, yeah. So he's a really good guy, and basically he's the type of throwback type of player where, like, he got strong by swinging an axe and chopping down trees, like that type of guy, you know what I'm talking about? Like, Schwarber is such a throwback player, but I'd like to get him out of our ballpark, specifically.
He's just been a headache for us on the field. That's all.
You know what he seems like? He seems like my type of guy. He's the type of guy that he doesn't think that he's any better or any worse than anyone else. Just a nice guy. And I like people like that because, you know, I'm an old country boy from Alabama.
Yeah.
And we don't have to go any farther because, you know, by the way, I'm getting ready to go to Alabama, just so you guys know. I think I said it. I'm going down to Jimmy Raines golf tournament. Me and my buddy Ozzy. Next whole weekend, we'll be down there. We'll go to Montgomery, then we'll go to Birmingham and play a little golf. So down in Alabama, baby.
We'll take our first break of the show and be back with more Hanford Dixon right after this. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. It's time for our Browns headlines, brought to you by our friends at Northeast Factory Direct. And we got a new, look at this, the owner, Alex, trying out the stuff. We got a new little overlay. Thanks, producer Pat. We've been in there. All these things are as comfortable as they look. If you're looking for new furniture, mattresses, kitchen cabinets, patio sets, they've got hot tubs, really high end, and more. You can stop by Northeast Factory Direct. They also just do things differently. So Alex, the owner there in the video, he's been doing this since he was doing it out of his garage because he was tired of seeing people overpay for mediocre furniture. Instead of fancy showrooms and high-pressure salespeople, Northeast Factory Direct, they keep it a lot more simple. They buy in bulk, they cut out that middleman, and they pass the savings directly onto you. And there's no sacrifice in the quality of these things. I was recently just in there. All of it is stunning. Everything they sell is in stock and ready to ship, so you won't be waiting for weeks either to get that new furniture. Just great products, amazing prices, and a team that genuinely cares about getting you the best deal. Visit them today in Euclid, Macedonia, Cleveland, or North Canton. You can also check them out online, northeastfactorydirect.com. But don't forget to ask about that Hanford Dixon bonus.
You know, it's funny because I think I've actually been in all of his locations. And, and Alex, he's got to have, Gabby, the most recognized face.
Oh, he's got the billboard. He's coming up on Misney level, you know.
Yeah, he's got the billboards all over the place, and rightfully so. But you know what? He's worked hard to get where he is, and he's earned he's got a really good reputation by taking care of everybody. That's why I say go in there, go see him, because if you want a good deal, he will really work with you. And again, like Gabby said, just ask for the Hanford Dixon bonus, and you'll be surprised what he'll do for you.
Yeah, they're great people, great family, and great deals. Okay, Hanford, I was going to hit you with a song question, actually.
Uh-oh.
Remember how you were
I don't know whether shall I just take off running, Pat, or what?
Because I don't know if anyone's listened to Hanford's playlist. It's something. A lot of old school R&B, some rap.
Yes.
You know, in your repertoire, even
country.
a little country.
Yes.
Motown, even. Gospel,
and my girl
even.
just won some awards too.
Oh, did she really?
Lainey, yes.
Okay, what did she win?
I think she won maybe don't quote me on this, but Entertainer of the Year or something like that, a song. But yeah, she was all over the place at the awards, and she's I love to see her because she's always wearing that hat, that cowboy hat.
It's the bell bottoms.
Yeah.
I love the bell bottoms.
Those big bell bottoms. But but go ahead.
It the Country Music Awards?
I was trying. Yeah, I was trying to get you off of where you were headed with this.
I know,
so I was trying to distract you there.
No, okay. I'll just die if you know who sings the song. Have you heard the Pink Pony Club?
No.
Pink Pony Club.
It's everywhere.
I'm gonna keep on dancing at the... You've never heard this? It's so freaking catchy.
Pat.
That's right.
Pat.
Hey, man.
How can you not like that song? Because look, Pat, here she go, look.
Grab does a great rendition of it, too.
Yeah, she's, that head, look, she's
like,
got...
what have you done?
You got that head going, yeah. I love
it.
It's classic.
I don't know the words.
Who is that? Who's...
Yeah, well, okay, so you don't know?
No, I don't know.
Well, Chapel Roan is her name.
That's right.
But I went down the rabbit hole, and I was just like, if the song's been out, okay, and it's been on TikTok, it's been making its rounds. It's not like it's new. But I just had this revelation the other day of how much I love it. It's so catchy.
I could tell the way you were into it.
I couldn't stop singing it at the ballpark, and then two of my coworkers, they were field producing. Ricky and Ben, shout out to my two coworkers. They did this amazing falsetto, Hanford, that I just knew you would appreciate. Not the fellas knowing way more of the words than me, but in addition, they were doing backup vocals. We were just on the job, like doing being silly, but. You could join on. We could have a quartet.
Well, I have to say this. I was, and I know we're gonna wait and go here, but I was watching you on Instagram, and you had that was that video with Kenny.
Oh yeah,
and that was so funny. I mean, that thing. I don't care how many times.
Remember?
That's what I was gonna say. I don't care how many times I watch it and look at it. It is just so funny watching that whole thing, and he's just laughing.
Listen, there's always something silly going on at work. I don't know. I don't know if it follows me. I don't know if I'm the common denominator, but I will say we have fun at work.
I'll go ahead and say it is. Yeah, Gab brings fun wherever she goes. So that's the good part about it is there's never going to be a dull workplace if Gab cruises around, which is a good thing.
Thank you. We do be having fun, which is good. And so I had to throw the music thing out there because will you tell me real quick, what was the song? It was Teenage Dirtbag.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hanford had come in last year or however many months ago, and he was like, hey, have you guys heard? I don't know the name of it. It's
that
catchy.
song. Have you heard that song?
Yeah.
We were on a cliffhanger for like 2 weeks. We're like, no, we don't know what song you're talking about.
Wasn't giving you a lot of stuff to go on there, wasn't it?
Yeah. We got it.
So great.
We got it.
But you guys, the important thing was, once you figured out, you knew the song I was talking about.
Right.
Yeah, so
Teenage Dirtbag.
Actually, you know what though? The important part is actually right there on the screen.
There we go.
There she is, Entertainer of the Year. Right. I told you, I was close. I was close. That's pretty much like that's even better than Song of the Year, isn't it? Entertainer of the Year,
or pretty much.
Oh, that's a hell of a title.
Oh yeah, didn't Beyonce get that last year for Cowboy Carter?
I think so.
Yeah, because people were all big mad about her country album or whatever.
That was already a year ago.
Oh, it might have been. I don't know.
Oh wow. Yeah, no, I'm thinking
like
of the Grammys or something. That was more recently.
But how could you not like
that? Our girl.
How could you not like Lainey?
Yeah, I don't know.
She's great.
I mean,
she's incredible.
I don't give a damn.
We each have we have the same amount of a crush on her.
I don't give a damn what kind of music you like. You have to like Lainey. Did you turn off your phone? Why is your phone just ringing, Gabby? Come on. Where is your phone? Pat told you 100 times when you come in the studio and stop your phone, Ozzy, I'll call you back, okay?
So my question for you guys though is, Lainey Wilson, Entertainer of the Year, but do you think Shedeur Sanders is going to be Entertainer of the Year for the Browns? I mean, do you think so?
I think so. Going back to your idea of the it quality, I think Shedeur is already bringing the entertainment. He just happens to also be really good at football, and that's the whole reason he's here. But he does have like a showmanship about him, which I think that's part of the reason maybe other teams were a little spooked by it. But as of late, I've really been thinking, but what if? What if? That's the thing that really works out for us. I don't know. And who knows if it's immediately, obviously. There's so much to happen, and he's early in his career. He's got to prove himself. We got to see so much more. But I don't know. I've just had a lot of positive thoughts about him. Like, what if he is?
You know what I think would be great, guys? I think it would be great if you had the two guys. They end up 1-2 as quarterbacks, both of them on the team. And because they're both very talented quarterbacks. Because one thing we know, Pickett, I mean, Pittsburgh drafted him number 1, and he's you know you never know whether if everything's finally going to click for him. And then we have Flacco. I mean, we know what we're going to get with Flacco. I mean, Flacco's going to throw he's going to throw some interceptions, he's going to throw some touchdowns, but you know what you're going to get. Yeah. And then the wild card in this whole thing is Deshaun.
Right.
I mean, you can't just kick him out the door. I mean, you can, but you still owe him over $70 million that we still have to pay him. And we just haven't been able to produce. But I think these two guys, they could be the quarterback of the future with this franchise and the Cleveland Browns. So I'm looking forward to because one thing we know, in order to compete in the AFC North, you have to have a quarterback. I mean, you just have to have a quarterback. And that's why I said, you guys can say what you want to say. I still say Pittsburgh has worked a little side deal, or they've got some kind of commitment from Aaron Rodgers to come and play quarterback with that team. And then since he's got Burrows and obviously Lamar is with the Ravens. Guys, you have to see this now. I was watching, it's because I was watching a show, and I called Ozzy and I said, is Lamar? Did you know? I said,
Yes.
I said, hey, dog. I said, is Lamar branching out? Starting his acting career or something?
I read something on X. What was the show?
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
He played a part in something. Yeah, I saw that on X recently.
Yeah, I said, oh, you know what it is? I think it's Godfather of Harlem, I think is the name of the show. I think it's Godfather of Harlem is the name of the show.
Well, yeah. Well, what did Ozzy say about it?
And it's like he commits a murder in the show. Yeah, he's a gangster.
Wow.
I mean, this is like drug dealing and all that stuff. And Lamar executed a guy on the show.
Wow. So for anyone who didn't watch it yet, there you go.
Lamar Jackson shines in acting debut, Power Book 3.
Oh, it's Power. That's what it was. It's not Godfather.
Okay.
It's Power Book 3, Raising Canaan.
Man.
Yeah,
what
that's
can't
what
this guy do, honestly?
Man, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. I say, what the hell? And he did a really good job, though. He really did. So it was good. So
that's badass.
Isn't that good? Oh, this goddamn phone.
Yeah, speaking of Lamar Jackson acting, I think Ozzy's on the phone saying, Did you see Lamar Jackson?
That I thought was pretty cool just because, if Ozzy has any insider info for us, I mean, that's pretty cool. This guy is doing double duty. He really is a talented dude. I'm happy for him. That's sweet. As long as it doesn't interfere with his football schedule, which clearly it looks like it doesn't or it hasn't, then...
Yeah, I mean, you see quarterbacks like that all the time going into, Aaron Rodgers had a documentary about himself coming out. I mean, Joe Burrow is doing fashion lines, and Donovan Mitchell, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, they're all doing that type of stuff nowadays. So it's a different type of athlete. But Hanford, was there anybody in the 80s like that who was doing all the modeling on the Browns? Because I don't think it was Bernie.
No. I think it was probably Go-Bob was trying to do some little dabble a little bit with a little acting career. But other than that, I don't think anyone else. And maybe Chip Banks, because Chip Banks was out in, he's from California. Yeah. And
if you could go back in time, would you branch off? And if you could branch off and do anything, what would that thing be?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, when you were at your peak
You know what? I could see myself playing one of those roles like Lamar just did, because I would be the kingpin. I would be the kingpin.
We know
God
that.
Damn it, come and see me. I would be the kingpin, baby. The top dog.
I could see you. It's either that. That laugh kills me. I could see Hanford couldn't you see Hanford doing that, or just straight up being like vocals for I don't know, some kind of
well, now you're talking. I mean, I have a little bit of that in me too, a little singing shot, don't start me going there.
I could see you being on somebody's track for sure.
But I had to say that, and but I had it wrong. It wasn't Godfather of Harlem. It was it was Power, and that's pretty much 50 Cent, who is the creator, I think, of that show. But I'm telling you guys, I was watching it, and all of a sudden I said, man, damn, that looked really like Lamar. And then I called Ozzy. He said, yeah, Dick, you're right. He was in that show. And then I waited to the end, and you know how they run the names
the credits,
of So so I and I saw his name. But I have to say this. He's got he was good.
Okay.
And it wasn't a big part. I mean, obviously it wasn't a big part, but it was enough where you would know that he was in there. And I'm telling you, he executed this guy.
Wow.
Boom.
Spoiler alert. We're gonna take a break. We'll be back with more Hanford Dixon Show right after this. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. It's time for us to go around the AFC North. This is all brought to you by our friends at Garage Beer. Garage Beer comes in 2 flavors, classic, light lager, and lime. No frills, no bitterness, no IPAs, just beer-flavored beer. You can find your local retailers who sell Garage Beer near you by visiting drinkgaragebeer.com. Okay, Hanford, I think to start we should talk about this safety that the Browns signed. DeMonte Casey used to play he was coming from the Steelers. Played, what was it, Pat? 3 seasons with the Steelers. He had a pretty solid resume.
Yeah, 3 years with the Steelers, guys. Coming on over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's been in the league. He's a veteran player. He's been in the league about 8 or 9 years. I was a little bit shocked that we were able to lure him away from the Pittsburgh Steelers because normally when you have a team in the same division, which is ours, the AFC North, it's kind of hard to get guys from those divisions. But Pittsburgh, we really needed to help in that secondary because Thornhill is no longer with us. And when he left us, obviously, he was talking a little smack, getting away from here. But Denzel Ward, I mean, obviously, he's the anchor of that secondary. And we have a lot of other guys that we need to really step up this year and really, really play well. So any help that we can get in that secondary is definitely going to help us. Newsom, who just tickles me to death, who sometimes we have him on the outside. A lot of times we have him on the inside playing that slot position. So he's another guy I think that really need to step up because we're paying him big bucks this year to keep him on this football team. So that secondary with the line and the defense that we have, it's going to be interesting to see how those guys come through.
Yeah, it sounds like, he's racked up 17 career interceptions, 5 over the last 3 years. That's what we need this year, is to be real aggressive on that front, like get those interceptions.
Yeah, he's a guy back there. He's like that quarterback in the defensive backfield. He's that guy that can make sure everybody's where they're supposed to be when they're supposed to be there. And any checks that we have to make, meaning whenever the offense change different formations, start in one formation, goes to another formation, he's the guy that can call the checks. And he's like that linebacker and then again that quarterback in the secondary to make sure those guys are in the right place. Yeah, I'm really happy that we signed him because we definitely need him, especially with Thornhill no longer in that defensive backfield. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, guys, the secondary was honestly one of those positions for us, position groups that was a lot of question marks coming into the offseason. I was kind of shocked that we didn't take Eman Wari, the safety who was available at 33 and 36 in the draft. He's kind of a high leverage player. We had I call him Juan Turnstile back there. He was turning his back and running towards the other end zone quite a bit, and his effort wasn't there. So the Browns have had a lot of problems at the safety position lately. But if you bring in a veteran, I think he's 8-9 years in the league, especially playing in this division, it couldn't hurt. I'm just shocked they didn't take one in the draft.
Yeah, and this defense, it's got to step up this year. It's got to play up to the caliber that we expect them to play. And the last year, let's just face it, they haven't played well. But like I said, I got a good feeling. I have a good feeling about this football team. For some reason, I just think this football team is going to really show up and show out this year.
Hey, before we move on to other teams around the AFC North, how do you think the Browns quarterback room, we got a lot going on, it's a little crowded, how do you think they will be ranked?
Oh, that's a good question because I think what we probably would do is, I think the way we're going to start this whole thing off, we're going to start off with Flacco being the top guy. He's going to be the number one quarterback, I'm pretty sure. I think after him, I think they're going to try to give it to Pickett. I think he's going to be the number 2 guy on the depth chart. I think Pickett is going to be there. And then I think 3 and 4 is going to go between Shador and, Gabe, I don't know between those 2 guys which one is going to be 3, which one is going to be 4. And I think we have to keep 4 quarterbacks on this roster. I don't see any.
You think so?
I don't know. It's going to be tough unless
normally no team almost ever carries 4 quarterbacks.
I know.
I know.
5. You're exactly right about that. But unless, here's the scenario that I think could happen. One of those guys really play well in preseason, then we can use that guy as trade bait, and we could trade one of those quarterbacks in that room. But Pat, guys, why would we take a quarterback at number 3, and then we come back and we know, Shador at 5? Guys, we pretty much have 2 heavy hitters at the 3 and the 5 spot. So, and I think those guys are the future. I don't think Pickett or Flacco. I don't think they are the future of this as far as quarterback is concerned with this football team. So I don't know. We'll see during preseason. Things normally have a way of working themselves out. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, the thing about it too, sorry to cut you off there, Gab, was the thing is we've got 4 quarterbacks and there's gonna be a lot of movement. Sometimes there's training camp injuries. So one of the other things too that kind of perked the ears of a lot of Browns fans is that Derek Carr for the Saints just retired.
Yeah.
Which is essentially just a medical retire because he neck injuries, concussions, shoulder. It's really messed up. So the Browns are looking at decent landing spots for one of these quarterbacks where he could get some value for Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco. I don't think it would be a rookie, but the Saints are an option. The Steelers, if they need somebody like that, we've traded in division before with Tyler Huntley, and it's going to be interesting. There's just no way we're able to carry all 4 guys, let alone 5.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody, Flacco, though, I don't think anybody give us anything for.
You don't think so?
For Flacco.
Really?
Well, but then again,
more so than Kenny Pickett.
Well, I could be wrong because, like you said, injuries. If some injuries happens to different teams, then they'll be in desperate need for a quarterback, and then that's a possibility. Well, I like Flacco.
I think he still holds a lot of value. I would say.
I do. I like him. I hate it when we got rid of him when he was here.
He's not like falling apart.
Yeah,
and like hobbling around. And he still like can get out there and play at a high level, and because of his wealth of experience, just knowing what to do in high level pressure situations or when a defense switches something up, just that veteran experience is so invaluable. So he's still got something there.
But one thing I'm gonna tell you guys about Flacco, and I honestly believe that, I don't think Flacco is here to take one of those rookies under his wings.
Right.
He is not the guy for that. He said you have your coaches. That's what they're going to do as far as that's concerned. I'm here to play football. I'm here to win football games for you. And I think that's what Flacco's going to do. He's going to get us some wins. And like I said, I was disappointed when we got rid of him. I'm glad he's back. I am glad he is back. But again, I can't wait to see what these rookies are going to do.
One of the reasons that I don't think that they'll trade Joe Flacco too is because his contract is so incentive laden that the Browns would be
crazy.
They'd be kind of crazy because it wouldn't cost us too much if he only plays like 6, 7, 8 games or whatever it is. And then you see where you're at middle of the season. We'll go through the schedule in a minute here, but you see where you're at middle of the season, see what the value is for Joe Flacco. Then a team could trade for him. But I don't know. It's going to be a musical chairs. There's really only 3 seats for 4 guys.
And here's the interesting part about this whole thing. Pickett. I mean, guys, we can't forget Pickett was a first-round pick too. I mean, we can't. Things haven't worked out for him so far, but Pickett was a first-round draft pick too. So, I mean, Pickett he's coming here sticking his chest out saying, hey, don't forget about me. I'm a first-round draft pick too, and I'm going to show you that I can play. So I want to see all these guys play, and I think it's going to be interesting.
Let's move around the league here a little bit and talk about the Bengals. Right now, Trey Hendrickson, it was no secret, he kind of made it public about his displeasure with the Bengals right now. I think he was saying there was no communication since the draft in late April, and he said he mentioned he got offers that he didn't really like. So he's set to make $15.8 million base salary this season, which is the final year of his contract. So they've got a little bit of tense feels over there. Well,
here's the problem with that. Sure, he's set to make that much money, but when you look at it, you look at what Myles Garrett is making. Those are peanuts compared to that. And you're talking about a guy. He's got to be feeling like an old rug or something that they just walk on right now because, he's been everything for them on defense. He's been a model citizen. I mean, this guy has produced and produced and produced. And then when you look at it, he turn around and he look at that offense and see where finally the Bengals are starting to pay some money, but they're giving it all to the offensive players. And they're neglecting him on defense. And guys, again, like I always say, the game is controlled on the defensive line of scrimmage. And on the defensive line of scrimmage with them, it's him. He is the man. But you would think that the Bengals were kind of sending a message to him. What I mean by that is with that first round pick they took, let's not forget, they took an edge rusher with that first pick. Kid Stewart. The kid, his last name is Stewart. He is the guy that they took with that first round pick. And so maybe they were trying to send a message to him, but I don't care who they took with that first round pick. you gotta Trey, you gotta sign him, you gotta make him happy because this guy is a monster, and I just can't see Cincinnati defense playing well without this guy. I wouldn't be surprised, guys, if he would hold out.
Yeah,
I would not be surprised if he held out, but I think the Bengals are making a mistake by not making this guy happy and not signing him. So.
Yeah, it seems like it's leaning in that direction, which is why he probably made the public statement to say, hey, there hasn't been any communication, and the last thing that they were talking about before the draft or whatever it was didn't reflect what I was promised or what we talked about or what our vision was for me and my values. So we shall see. Pittsburgh, let's do Steelers. Pittsburgh traded wide receiver George Pickens to the Cowboys. We did talk about that, or did we not?
Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah, we already talked about that.
Yeah,
one.
The Ravens, I think we have left. I know you didn't want to talk about them, but
well, they started last season 0-2, Hanford, and
well, Baltimore's Baltimore, and I think we all know that Baltimore setting the standard right now in the AFC North. You got Baltimore, then you got the Bengals, then you got the Pittsburgh Steelers, and obviously you got us. You got the Browns. I think when you rank those teams in the AFC North, I think you have to look at them like that. That's why I would love to see us this year get back up to the top of the AFC North, be back up there with the rest of the teams. And Baltimore, they've done nothing but strengthen their ball club. Let's just tell it like it is. And it all starts with that quarterback, talking about Lamar Jackson, who is just a phenomenal athlete. And they've done a lot to help their secondary. They're doing a lot to help their defense, offensive line, and their offense. So why wouldn't we think that they're going to be at the top again? So I said it last year. I'm going to really say it this year. I think all the 3 teams out of 4 are going to be in the playoffs. I think it depends on what we do. I have a feeling that we're going to play well, too. So there's a possibility this year that all 4 teams in the AFC North can be in the playoffs, can make the playoffs. So we shall see. That's just the way I feel, but we will see. Yeah,
Hanford, what do you think the Browns, is our record going to be against AFC North competition this year?
Boy, that's going to be tough. I don't know, because again, that AFC North is just so tough, and the thing about it, you have to see those teams twice a year. I mean, the good thing is you have them once at home, and then you have to go on the road and play those guys. If our team come out of the gate, if our team start to play the way that I think that they could play, the way that I believe they're going to play this year, I think maybe 2, 4, 6. I don't know. I'm afraid to even touch that.
I know it's early.
I'm afraid to even touch that one.
Well, we're talking about schedules and things coming up. We're gonna take a break, but we're gonna get into the schedule. So with that around the corner, it's kind of like got your wheels turning about what do you think we're gonna fare against AFC North competition. There's so much. Really quick before we dodge out of here, I forgot to ask you about the Bengals and their first round draft pick. Did you guys see how he didn't participate in the rookie minicamp?
That was crazy.
Because of contract disputes. Were you a little surprised by that?
Well, is this the kid Stewart, right?
Yeah. Stewart.
I mean, come on, guy. I mean, come on.
Is that that has to be unique to that's got to be a generational thing. Yeah?
You know what?
There's no way, right?
Yeah, they let these agents, control their lives, everything on the field. Get your butt out there. You're missing valuable time. You have to get your butt out there and you got to play. You got a lot of stuff to learn. And you guys have to play off of each other, get a feel for each other. I think that's absolutely crazy for this guy to sit around talking about he's not going to do anything because of that. How many other guys have signed already?
It's got to be
not a lot. Very few guys have signed contracts right now. So get your butt out there and go play.
And honestly, too, organizationally, what are the Bengals doing? Because it's the same position. You drafted what in theory would be your replacement for Trey Hendrickson, right? Because he's a high ceiling type of guy and a low floor. So you could really miss on this prospect. It's gonna be feast or famine with this guy. So you're already missing out on your Pro Bowl defensive end who you won't sign a contract with. You didn't franchise tag.
Yeah.
Then the draft pick, you can't even come to terms with him on a contract. It's wild stuff over there in Cincinnati. I do not envy that situation. As bad as we have it here, I don't envy that position.
I tell you, one guy's laughing over that. Trey.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's sitting there and said, aha.
All the way to the bank.
All the way to the bank. You want to play me? Okay, we'll fix you.
Let's take a break. We'll be back with more Hanford Dixon Show right after this. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. It is time for our Lipton Hard Iced Tea.
Why are you sitting like your back hurt?
I know. You're going to make fun
like
of
an
me
old
now.
lady.
I mean, what the hell's wrong with you? I mean, look
I'm
at
really
you.
working on my posture. I was just saying to the fellas, like, hey, is it just me or does your back ever hurt sitting in these shirts? Because I don't use the lean back because I'd be too far away. Watch.
Let me ask you a question.
And then we here, so I have to come up here.
If you can't sit in this chair for an hour, 2 hours, hour and a half.
It was 2 hours because I do a
hour
show
and a
before
half.
this.
Hold on, let me finish don't be cut me off. Hour and a half, 2 hours. How in the hell are you going to go out there and run 6-7 miles?
Oh yeah, because the marathon weekend's coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would rather run than sit for a long period of time.
Okay.
Yeah.
The adrenaline going for Gab too, because she was, an athlete in college. Like once you get the adrenaline going, like I'm being kind of serious actually. It can carry you pretty far.
Yeah, it's gonna be 6.2 miles. I'm doing the 10K. Should we all try to guestimate what time I'll run?
No.
Because I have no idea. I don't even know what a normal time for that distance is.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: have you ever ran a 6-minute mile or below? 6 minute or below? Have you?
I have.
Good.
She's a Hall of Famer.
Well, hear what I say. Me too. You know what it was?
Yeah.
What was it?
5:59.
There you go. I love it. And you ran a 4:42 or whatever it was, right?
How
about that?
This
Distance
guy.
plus
This
speed.
guy.
You know what we did when Marty Schottenheimer was the coach? We had as part of our fitness test.
Yes.
When we came in, one of the things was we had to run a 6-minute mile. And I knew that, so I wanted that clock to be. I just, give me the clock, let me know, so I can come in just under 6 minutes. And
Wow.
I did. Yeah.
He hit us with the 5:59.
Because you know what, because after that we had to do all these hundreds, we had to do the 40s and all that, and it was just a problem. But if you do what you're supposed to do in the off season and you come in ready to go, you don't have a problem with it. You're ready to go. But some of the guys were like struggling, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and I used to tell some of the big guys, the big linemen and stuff, I used to make them mad, and I said, "Hey, man, I'll just slap you, and then all I'm going to do is just run a mile, because I know at half a mile you're going to drop out. You're not going to be able to catch me."
Man, it's funny too.
You bullying the big guy?
But you know what they said? You know what they said? Yeah, but if I get my hands on you,
I know that's right. It's funny too, because on the Bobby Carpenter show, he says it maybe once a week, but Bobby's always like, it's easier to stay ready than to get ready.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a good point, honestly.
What did you think about Mason Graham kind of blowing chunks at practice? Is that normal? Do people do that?
No.
I don't know. I think this is a hot take, but I think that potentially there's just people who are more prone to puking.
Yeah.
Because there was a girl I ran track with in college, and it was just like, it didn't matter how in shape we were or not. She was just a puker. Well,
again, we're talking about minicamp. We're talking about.
I mean, he was just playing like.
Yeah, we're talking about minicamp. I mean,
it's no big
Mason
deal.
Graham is 22, 23 years old.
Right.
I mean, come on now. I mean, how the hell are you gonna be? I take it back. We had a guy named Thad. What was Thad's last name? But Thad, he was a defensive lineman, and I'm telling you, he would throw up all the time. Yeah. But I think Thad was throwing up because Thad wasn't in shape. So
there's so many
that's
reasons.
That's why Thad was.
Someone could puke. You could be really just like anxious or excited, adrenaline about it. So I don't even think we should even make that much of it. But judging by the X comments, which.
But here's the problem. I mean, and I understand why people are saying what they're saying. I mean, me personally, I could never be rude to anyone or say bad things, like that.
Yeah.
But you're talking about a kid who was our first round draft pick. You're talking about a kid was in the top 5 picks in the draft, especially after we trade down from number 2. And there were so many guys at the top, like Hunter, Carter, guys that the running back from Boise,
Genty,
those guys that were right there that everybody wanted us to draft. So we drafted down, and we drafted this kid. Plus that, the kid is from Michigan. He's from Michigan.
Yeah.
No, you
That's
think?
probably why the comments are
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. You think if the kid was from Ohio State, they would be giving him. They would make a joke out of it, probably, if he was from Ohio State.
Yeah, kid just puts everything out there.
But
quite literally,
this would be the test. By the time training camp starts, if the kid comes in and he's still throwing up, then we'll know that it's just.
But some people do.
What I'm saying, then we'll know that he's not. It's not because he's not in shape.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. It'll be just like this girl you were talking about. Some people just.
Well, and I was gonna say Josh Allen went on somewhere and said that he pukes before every game. Like,
wow.
Yeah.
That was nerves.
It's part of his routine. Well, yeah, but who's to say nerves aren't? I mean, you're drafted first by a team, and you've got expectations, and you're meeting all the new people. Like, there's a lot going on.
What?
They're humans.
Well, I know one thing. This kid Mason Graham, he better come in here ready to go because I'm giving him a pass. I'm giving him a pass because again, he's on our team right now. He's on that defensive line, and I hope he just explode on defense and just have the best year or best career ever because I'm behind him 100%.
He better, because he's gonna be facing some tough quarterbacks this year, guys. We got our opponents list for the 2025 Brown season. There's some quarterback names on there. I'll pull this up here for you. I don't know how we're feeling right now, but look at this here, guys. We got Josh Allen, Jordan Love, Tua Tagovailoa. We got Cam Ward.
Yeah,
man.
And you didn't even mention anyone in our division that we have to, talk about the guys that we have to see twice a year. But these quarterbacks today, you're right, they're getting bigger, they're getting faster, and God damn, you got to be able to contain these guys because if you don't, they can break that pocket. And I'm telling you, once they break that pocket, they have the speed to take it to the house. And so we're gonna need him. We are going to need him. But I the young kid, I think he's gonna step up. How can you not when you're the number? Well, I don't want to go back to some of those draft picks in the past. Now let's not even start talking about that. Let's leave that alone. We're not gonna jinx the kid. Yeah, we're not gonna jinx it.
But now that these Browns opponents set for the 2025 season, what do you think? As our Lipton hard iced tea hard hitting question, what do you think our record is going to be?
I would be happy.
Somewhere. I mean, it's early. We know.
Yeah. I would be happy with 10-7. I would be happy with that. Because again, we're coming off a 3-win season into the playoffs.
So we had 3 wins last year.
Yeah. You would remind me, would you?
I just wanted to make sure I heard you correctly. It's not that I don't think we can't get 10 wins. It's just
two of which, though, Gab, if you remember, came against AFC North opponents.
Yeah.
They beat the Ravens at home. They beat the Steelers at home. One of the weirdest seasons I've ever seen in my life.
I think that's the thing about, I don't know if it's the Browns or just football in general, but they really nailed it when they said that any given Sunday thing.
and Pat, I think we have, you were showing me the schedule earlier. Well, not the schedule, but some of the teams that we're going to play. The Bills is a team that's on that list that we're going to have to play. I mean,
luckily, we catch some of these teams at home. We get the Bills, Packers, and Dolphins, and the Vikings at home. I believe, I forget who it was, Pro Football Talk maybe, or Pro Football Focus, but they said we're in the top 5 of most difficult schedules.
Wow.
Which is crazy because we came in last in our division, which is not normally how that goes. You play all the 4th place teams, but somehow we still ended up with a top 5 most difficult schedule.
Well, I'm not too happy about that game. That I'm really looking forward to watching is that September 4th matchup. You got America's team talking about the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, okay.
Against, I think it's Philly, right, Pat?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, against Philadelphia. I can't wait for that game.
Really?
That's going to kick.
One?
Well, that's going to pretty much kick everything off the NFL season. I think that's on a Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's a Thursday night game, and can't wait to watch that thing. Guys, NFL is back. I mean, it is back.
I'll tell you what, September 4th, that's the game that you're talking about. It can't come soon enough.
Yeah.
I simply can't wait.
Right.
The excitement we had going into last year's opener against the Cowboys, and we did get absolutely curb stomped, but you remember the excitement of that?
I haven't heard curb stomped in a while. Thank you for
curb
coming back.
great. Curb stomped is great, but the excitement coming into that game, it's hope is renewed every year down here in the lakefront, and honestly, it's nothing like it in this town.
It's just so fun. We are a football town, and it's exciting. I just want to give a shout out before we end the segment to Lipton Hard Iced Tea. And if you didn't know, we're giving away some golf swag thanks to our friends at Lipton Hard Iced Tea, and this will be all summer long. So visit a local retailer who sells Lipton Hard Iced Tea to enter and win some golf swag, or even have a chance at the grand prize, which is golfing with Jimmy Hanlon.
And let them know, too, that we cannot wear our swag on air until we get it. So you guys send us our damn gear because we're waiting on it right now.
You want some golf gear, too?
I want some
I don't even think it was for us, Hanford. It's for the winners.
Well,
but you know what?
no,
You're Hanford Dixon. We'll get you
no,
some
what they want is they want us to show everyone what they're going to get, what they can, what they're going to win. So we have to advertise it. That's right.
All right, I'll put in the request. I think they can do that for us. Let's take a break. We'll be back with more Hanford Dixon right after this. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show, brought to you by our friends at Smart Choice Windows. Have you been thinking about upgrading your home this spring? Then look no further than Smart Choice Windows and Smart Choice Bath. Smart Choice Windows is running a great deal right now. Hanford, what do you like? Buy one, get one?
No, you got me going. I like to buy two, you get two free.
Oh.
Yeah. I like to
right
buy
into
two,
my
get
palm
two.
here. That's exactly what they're offering right now is their deal. It's a buy two windows, you get two free. And it gets even better. They're offering 0% financing for 24 months. Or if you prefer, they also have the no down payment option with monthly payments as low as $199. Some restrictions apply there. But if your bathroom needs an update, the same great team at Smart Choice Baths has you covered. They're offering $1,500 off a brand new shower or tub this month. So if you've been putting off that remodel, now is the perfect time to go for it. And if you're ready for a quieter, more energy efficient window situation that finally works for your life, make that call. Dial 440-WINDOWS or head over to smartchoicewindows.com and smartchoicebaths.com to schedule your free, no-pressure estimate today.
Talking about those windows, and we're going to get two free. But the whole time you were doing that, I was thinking about that question you asked me about all the Browns draft choices, and out of all of them, which one that I really, really like. And which ones that I think that's really going to help this football team this year. And I was going over the list while you was doing your reading, because I knew you was going to come back and hit me with it, so I wanted to be prepared for this one. You know what? Out of the two, out of the.
Are you talking just quarterbacks or just
no, all the draft, and I think the two that really is going to help this team going to be those two running backs.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you look at the kid out of Ohio State, the kid out of Tennessee, I think when you look at those two guys, I think those two guys are going to come in here and they are really going to contribute right away. I think we got a sense of how high they are on these guys, because I think Andrew Berry had a press conference this week. And I think during the press conference, I think someone shot a question to him. And the question was about Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
And it's, I know everybody's a little bit upset that Nick Chubb is probably not going to be back on this squad this year. And I think Barry made a statement or something, Pat, similar to that, saying something to the fact. I don't know. How did he? You remember how he put it, Pat?
He said it's increasingly unlikely that Nick Chubb will be on the team this year.
Right.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. It's kind of the writing on the wall, but sucks to hear.
I think, Gab, if you read between the lines on that one, I think he's pretty much telling us that he's not going to be on this football team.
Right.
So that's why I think we're going to have to really. Oh, and then also, was it Ford that took a pay cut? Yeah, Ford took a pay cut, and that I think solidified his spot on this team this year. I think when you look at it, I think those guys are going to be the guys that really going to hammer it away and help those quarterbacks out running the football. So I'm kind of excited. I think the two guys, I think that main area are going to be those running backs. I think those are the guys that I'm really going to look forward to helping us.
I think I mentioned it last week, but probably the guy that I'm excited about is Kinshawn, to see what he does this year for kind of what you said. I just see he's super athletic and exciting, and I don't know, as my kind of like who am I keeping my eyes on. Everybody's always, fixated on the quarterbacks. I get that. But I think I am excited for him specifically.
You are?
Yeah. I think he's a tremendous athlete, and maybe it's just something about the videos floating around. I'm like, wow, this kid is really fun to watch. So
yeah, they say that he his pro comp, he runs like Kareem Hunt. So I mean, you couldn't get really more if you're looking for the Nick Chubb replacement with the Kareem Hunt replacement. You got Quinshon Judkins as Kareem Hunt, and hopefully Dylan Sampson, who's you can't really replace Nick Chubb, but that's what you're kind of looking for with the breakaway speed. Maybe we can go back to that 2018, 2019, type of offense.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Hold on. Now you guys telling me that. Now, where did this kid go to school that you guys like? So, where did he go to school?
What
did he? Is it like a OHIO or something like that?
I think it was the national champions.
Listen, it has nothing to do
Is
with
it
that.
an OHIO? Is that why you guys telling me you like this damn
Maybe there's
kid?
some bias in there.
Maybe.
I'm just giving you guys a hard time. I like him too.
Yeah.
I think he's a tough runner and he can get the tough yards. And not only that, he can break one. So, I like those two running backs. I had to get that in, though, guys. I mean, I just had to get that one in because you and Gab, damn it.
We'll just be giving you a hard time, just trying to rub Ohio State in your face anytime we can.
Oh, that whatever. I was doing a Saturday. I was doing Eric Metcalf had a bowling. Some bowling for charity when he was doing it for like raising money for one of the high schools, local high schools, and he had a DJ there, and I guarantee you this guy was from. He had to be from Columbus because that's all he wanted to talk about. And everybody in the house just I'm like, get the hell out of here,
funny.
I thought that was so fun. I had to say that though. All right, guys, that's my answer, Gab.
We'll take the OHIO.
Well, real quick, too, guys, there's another guy that I know he wasn't a draft pick, but we'll toss this up here. A local product, Luke Floria, guys.
Oh, that's right.
Went from Menor High School to Kent State. He was all-conference.
The receiver, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Wide receiver. He was all-conference at Kent State University, and just got signed by your Cleveland Browns.
That's so cool.
Isn't that cool?
Well, that is cool, guys, because, we always need help. Right now, we really need help in that wide receiver room. But, hopefully this kid can just jump on this team, jump on the squad, and help us out. So good deal, Pat.
And I'll tell you what, too, because like Menor is kind of high school football over there is unbelievable. The programs that they've had, it's just so they had all kinds of players dating back to Mitch Trubisky when I was in high school and beat my high school in the state semi. But it's just a football factory out there because they do. Trevisano did a great job, the replacements over there, but they just do a really good job with tight technical wide receivers too. Because this guy, the comp to him is actually kind of more of like a Hunter Renfrow, where he's got really technical feet and can get open in short areas. That's what you're really looking for the Browns too.
Now, wasn't Trevisano's brother Mike Trevisano?
I have no idea.
Yeah, Mike.
I'm trying to remember.
I want to say
I think
Pat.
Steve Trevisano.
Yeah,
I think I interviewed him for the high school championship.
Did you?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah. It was like really serious.
Good coach. Good coach.
When we still had Time Warner Cable / Spectrum Sports. Or that's what it was, and then it was Spectrum Sports. We were doing high school football, and it's such a big deal in Ohio.
Good coach.
And specifically, Mentor in particular, I remember just intense.
But
intense coach.
Yeah.
But also they were always pumping out high-quality product.
It's cool, too, that we get to see Harold Fannin Jr. because he went to Canton McKinley. I believe it was McKinley down there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then went to Bowling Green. So got some local products on the team. It's always really cool to see
McKinley
that.
weren't they
the Bulldogs? Yeah, they're great.
Like
D2, I believe.
Yeah, they weren't one.
Made it to the state semi. Imagine playing at Fawcett Stadium at the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
That's where your home games are.
Yeah. It was exciting being down there.
But it's just good to see a lot of those players playing for the home team.
Yeah.
And their families get a chance to come and watch them play. So that's got to be a good deal.
It's a fun atmosphere. Let's take a break. We'll be back with more Hanford Dixon right after this. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show as we finish up here this beautiful Monday in Cleveland, Ohio. The Cavaliers, we didn't really talk about them, but as of shooting this show, by the time it airs, we probably could be in a different predicament, whether that's positive or negative. But I think dropping Game 4 was a doozy, wasn't it, Hanford? And I don't think anyone saw it coming. And it actually aggravates me a little more about Game 2, I think.
You know what? I really feel bad for the players. I feel bad for Kenny because I guarantee you, if you talk to Kenny, he'll tell you, man, you could take that Coach of the Year trophy and shove it somewhere. He would much rather win this this series with Indiana. Guys, it's taken some air out of us. I would if I said it didn't, I would be lying because I just don't know. I just think Indiana is coming out and they're just obviously they're outplaying us.
Yeah.
But they're being more physical. They are just want it better than a lot. They want it. They want it more than we do.
Yeah. Well,
and we just have to match their intensity. I mean, we just got to get it going.
Yeah, you definitely have to have that killer instinct, and I think that's some of the rhetoric around. I think that this team is very capable, but we're banged up. Clearly, there's injuries. There's guys playing through stuff, and I didn't get a chance to really watch yet. Game 4 through and through because I was working the Guardians game. By the time I checked in, we were down by 40, and it was halftime, and I was perplexed. I'm like, can someone give closure as to why it is this way? Why? I couldn't really figure that out, but
Gab, it was hard to watch. I mean, it was really hard to watch.
Yeah,
I mean,
a
faster
faster pace, but with their bodying, they're just
you know what I did? I turned away from it, hoping that I would turn away from it, then I would turn back to it. But when I turned back to it, I was hoping that things would change, like the score, and it was no hope. I mean, you could just tell it was just it was just no hope with this game. And but I'm still like I said, I'm still not giving up. When you're watching this, we still have one game to go.
Yes.
I'm still not giving up. I still have a lot of confidence with them. You remember I could have to say this. You remember we were down like this, but we had LeBron. We had LeBron.
We had just this guy named LeBron.
LeBron.
We had LeBron, but we came back.
James.
Did we? We won 3 in a row, right?
Hey, guess what? The only time that the Cavs won the championship was they were down 3-1. So
yeah.
You can't win a championship in Cleveland without being down 3-1.
Right.
This Pacers has become like the Yankees for me.
I know.
I don't know. I've been really emotionally invested in this more than I have probably in years past, and I think it's just because. Why do we're going to go 64 wins in the regular season, then we sweep the Heat, and then we have a meltdown. It's just, I can't, my brain, I don't know. Yeah. And it's also just the Pacers' way of playing, and I know that it's playoffs, I know it's supposed to be physical, blah, blah, blah. But it's also, I don't know. Do you see the guy, or Mathurin, who got ejected? He punched Hunter in the chest.
I was shocked. I was shocked that DeAndre didn't get.
I know, I was too.
A
little bit, but
the thing about it, too, guys, is the hard part is the Cavs are really good, like you said, 64 regular season wins, but are they too mentally weak for the playoffs? That's what a lot of people are asking.
Are they too mentally tired? Are we too tired by this time?
They had so much rest and everything
Donnie's
like that.
Giving everything
you know what I'm going to do right now? You know what I'm going to do right now?
What you got?
I am going to send good health toward Donovan Mitchell because, guys, there's a possibility he's a game time decision.
Right.
His ankle right now. So we're going to send good vibes, good health.
Positive vibes right
to
him
right now. If
this airs and he got a chance to play and we win, just know it's because of Hanford Dixon.
And we're going to win 3 in a row.
Let's go.
Gab, Mother's Day.
Yeah, it was a pleasant day besides all the Cavs and Guardians losing.
Yeah, a lot of mothers went 0 for 2 on Mother's Day. The Cavs and the Guards lost at basically the same time on Mother's Day. That's tough.
I know. But it was pleasant. The weather was perfect. We took my mom out to brunch and had so much fun. Everyone was just giggly. It was a good time with the fam. What'd you guys do? Anything special?
I want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. And my mom is no longer with us, but still, she's special in my heart. Marva Dixon, and actually named one of my daughters after her. Her name is Marva. So, but all the mothers, Happy Mother's Day.
And your daughter is a mother.
Yes. That's Hannah is a mother.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but and Hannah still asks me. Sometimes she's, well, Dad, does that mean you don't love me just as much as you love Marva? Because I said, quit being ridiculous.
Man,
Pat, tell us about you.
Mother's Day was great. Had both grandmas over at my parents' house, which was cool. They're still with us, obviously, which is great. that's always the cool part is, so I have the 2 grandmothers, never met the 2 grandfathers. So it's those, when people talk about grandparents, that's the cool part for me. Is like, it's a mother's thing.
Awesome.
So,
we got both of my parents' moms still around, which is really cool.
That's awesome.
Got to have dinner at my parents' house.
It's a blessing.
It's great.
Yeah.
Of course.
It's a blessing.
All right. Well,
the show has been a blessing, I'll tell you that.
this show is.
Some people say I'm no good. I'm crazy as could be. I get drunk in the morning, I get stoned in the afternoon, but I ain't asking nobody for nothing if I can't get it on my own. If you don't like the way I live, leave this Showdown Country Boy.
We'll see you next week on the Hanford Dixon Show.